The Salesians of Don Bosco is a Roman Catholic religious institute founded in the late 19th century by Saint John Bosco to help poor children. During the Industrial Revolution, the Salesians' charter describes the society's mission as the Christian perfection of its associates obtained by the exercise of spiritual and corporal works, a charity towards the young, especially the poor, and the education of boys to the priesthood. The institute is named after Francis de Sales, an early modern bishop from Geneva. History. In 1845, Don John Bosco opened a night school for boys in Valdocco, now part of the municipality of Turin in Italy. In the following years he opened several more schools, and in 1857 drew up a set of rules for his helpers, which became the rule of the Society of St. Francis de Sales, which Pope Pius IX approved definitively in 1873. The society grew rapidly, with houses established in France and Argentina within a year of the society's formal recognition. Its official print organ, the Salesian Bulletin, was first published in 1877. Over the next decade the Salesians expanded into Austria, Britain, Spain, and several countries in South America. The death of Don Bosco in 1888 did not slow the society's growth, and by 1911 the Salesians were established throughout the world, including Colombia, China, India, South Africa, Tunisia, Venezuela and the United States. The society continues to operate worldwide. In 2000, it counted more than 17,000 members in 2,711 houses. It is the third largest missionary organization in the world. The order's members have come in for particular criticism in light of recent inquiries as to child abuse by members of the Catholic Church. In a parliamentary inquiry in Victoria, Australia, Australian Professor Patrick Parkinson stated, "I would say the order, are not only unrepentant and defiant, they are untruthful. The lies which were told, the cover-ups, the attempts made to suppress my report, were breathtaking." The report had stated that, on attempts to extradite 3 of the order's bishops to Australia, 2 had been shunted off to Samoa, where the local archbishop was left totally in the dark as to the accusations that had been made against him, and the 3rd was working in the Vatican. Salesian coat of arms. The Salesian coat of arms was designed by Professor Boidi. It was published for the first time in a circular letter of Don Bosco on 8 December 1885. It consists of a shining star, the large anchor, the heart on fire symbolize the theological virtues of faith, hope and charity, the figure of Saint Francis de Sales recalls the patron of the society. The small wood in the lower part reminds us of the founder of the society. The high mountains signify the heights of perfection towards which members strive. The interwoven palm and laurel that enfold the shield either side are emblematic of the prize reserved for a virtuous and sacrificial life. The motto Da mihi animus, Kai Attribution is present at its bottom. Logo of the society. The logo of the Salesians of Don Bosco is made up of 2 superimposed images. In the background a stylized S in white is formed within a sphere like a globe, marked to the right and left by 2 cuttings between the hills, dunes. The second image is in the center of the globe bridging the S road. This is an arrow pointing upwards resting on 3 perpendicular legs, on top of which are 3 closed circles making a stylized image of 3 people. The first of these in the middle and taller than the others is the point of the arrow, and the other 2 beside it appear as it were to be embraced by the central figure. The 3 stylized figures with the arrow pointing upwards can also be viewed as a simple dwelling with a sloping roof and with pillars holding it up. The logo contains elements from German and Brazilian provinces. It is designed with the central theme Don Bosco and the Salesians walking with the young through the world. Various elements of the new logo Don Bosco, the Salesian and young people. 3 stylized figures represent Street John Bosco reaching out to the young, and his call for Salesians to continue his work. the Salesian charism and the preventive system. The road represents an educational journey for the youth. The house represents Bosco's oratories of reason, religion, and kindness. The Salesian charism, relevant and worldwide. The background is a stylized heart that is also reminiscent of a globe. Color composition of the logo is: foreground, cyan 6%, magenta 100%, yellow 82%, black 0%. Background, magenta 22%, yellow 44%. Relation to the traditional coat of arms process of logo selection. The new logo is the result of combining two logos already established for years in some parts of the congregation, the German logo and the Brazilian logo. The idea of combining the two came out of suggestions from an inquiry about the new logo conducted throughout the congregation and from contributions by the General Council. The combination, besides profiting from the mutual enrichment of the elements, is intended to be an expression of communion and of intercultural dialogue. The artistic work of combining the two was carried out by the designer Fabrizio Emigli, from the Litos Company, in Rome. Organization. The Salesians of Don Bosco are headed by the Rector Major and the Society's General Council. Each of the 94 geographical provinces is headed by a provincial. These offices serve 6-year terms. The Rector Major and the members of the General Council are elected by the Chapter General, which meets every 6 years or upon the death of the Rector Major. Each local Salesian community is headed by a superior, called a rector, who is appointed to a 3-year term and can be renewed for a second 3-year term. The current Rector Major of the Salesians of Don Bosco is the Very Reverend Father Angel Fernandez Artime. Father Artime, a Spaniard who most recently served as provincial in southern Argentina, was elected on the 25th of March 2014. Fr. Fernandez was born in Gozon Luanco in Spain in 1960, and made his first profession in 1978. He took perpetual profession in 1984, and was ordained a priest in 1987. He holds a doctorate in pastoral theology, and a licentiate in philosophy and pedagogy. He has served the congregation as youth ministry delegate, director of the school at Orense, member of the provincial council, and as vice-provincial, and then provincial from 2000 to 2006, of Leon. In 2009, he was appointed Salesian provincial for southern Argentina, a post he held until his election as Rector Major. It was in this capacity that he came to know, and worked with, Cardinal George Bergoglio, the Archbishop of Buenos Aires. He had been appointed in December as head of the new Seville province, though it has been impeded by his election as Rector Major. Works. Salesian communities primarily operate shelters for homeless or at-risk youths, schools, technical, vocational, and language instruction centers for youths and adults, and boys' clubs and community centers. In some areas they run parish churches. Salesians are also active in publishing and other public communication activities, as well as mission work, especially in Asia, Africa, and South America. The Salesian Bulletin is now published in 52 editions, in 30 languages. In the 1990s, Salesians launched new works in the area of tertiary education, and today have a network of over 58 colleges and universities. The official university of the Salesian Society is the Salesian Pontifical University in Rome. Women's Institute. The Women's Institute is known as the Salesian Sisters of Don Bosco, or, more officially, the Daughters of Mary Help of Christians. Visitationist sisters, members of the Order of the Visitation of Holy Mary, are also sometimes called Salesian Sisters, in honor of one of their founders, Saint Francis de Sales. However, the two societies are not the same and their membership does not overlap. Notable members: Alexandrina of Balazar, Angelo Amato, Tarcisio Bettone, Giovanni Melchiorre Bosco, Giovanni Cagliero, Rosalio Jose Castillo Lara, Raffaele Farina, Carlos Felipe Ximénez Bello, August Lund, Antonio Maria Javiera Ortiz, Alois Kothgasser, Miguel Obando y Bravo, Oscar Andrés Rodríguez Maradiaga, Michelle Rua, Raúl Silva Henriquez, Alphonse Maria Stickler, Stepan Trocta, Ignacio Velasco, Joseph Sens Akiun, Sean Devereux,